Chase Lee Hockey here with the Blue Futon. Out of the 3D world, normal 3D glasses. It is Strange World 3D. Is this world strange? Yeah, this room is a little bit strange. Let's be honest. The Strange World 3D. What's about? It's a very simple premise, actually. You have the Quaid family. One's an explorer. The son, more wants to be a farmer. However, the dad disappears into the mountains while the son finds his plant and realizes, hey, this could power a lot of stuff. And now, 25 years in the future, the plant is slowly dying. They must go to this strange world where they find and connect with the father, a family adventure with no villain. So, did I like this film? I thought it was an okay film. I thought the animation was great. The 3D effects was great. However, to me, it was the story that just completely falters. And the more you think about it, even kids will be like, that doesn't make no sense. So with that, we'll go into the positives of the movie first. Like I said, the animation and the 3D effects. Most 3D movies, when it's animated, works perfectly fine. I have nothing wrong with them. This one, the ashes, the fire effects, all of them show their depth with this 3D. So if you could find this movie in 3D, watch it. However, what I find really weird about the 3D and aspect ratio, I feel like this was supposed to be an IMAX because I was seeing it in a normal screen, but I think the aspect ratio on the top and bottom was way too black and it didn't show the whole screen. So I feel like something was wrong on that level. And the animation, crisp, clean, just like any other animation Disney has done. On Encanto, you have Frozen. So if you like that style of animation, don't expect it to stray off the beaten path because that is the path they decided to take, is that same style of animation. While this has a little bit more colors and more interesting character designs, because when it goes to that strange world, there are some weird, strange designs, but nothing like what the heck, because the what the heck factor of maybe the story, nah, it goes into very, very familiar territory. And with that, we'll go into the negatives. To me, it's the story. I understand what they're trying to go with the story, especially they're on this world, the thing that they use for energy to light up the power. You could call it plant green-based energy isn't working. So they got to figure out where these roots are going, and where they just think where the roots are going. They see where the roots are going. You're like, oh, but that doesn't make sense because they have planes. The mountains shouldn't be that high. He's an explorer. So why are they... It's not Las Vegas. If you've ever been to Las Vegas, it's a valley. So this movie acts like it's a valley and they can never leave. And that's all I'm going to say, because once you see the end of the movie, like the very end when they pan out, I laughed because I'm like, this makes no sense. Like, seriously, even kids are going to be like, but mommy, that mommy was flying a plane. Is this flat Earth? It's not, okay, it is not a flat Earth movie, but the more you think about it, you're more like, so you're saying it took this long to realize that is what's happening? It just doesn't make sense. Like I said, even kids are going to be like, wait a minute, that makes no sense. But how can they do that when they're on this? And that's all I'm going to say, because I would just spoil it completely. And I'm sorry, the dog in this movie is one of the stupidest things I've ever seen. It's like, come on, you got to make... I mean, I understand you're trying to make a cute character, but my goodness, that dog is pretty annoying. Also, I think it's called Squish. That little blue thing you see in the trailer, okay, that is pretty comical, and that would put that in the positive category. And with most Disney movies now, this and Encanto, I think Frozen 2 might be in this territory, but there's no real villains anymore. Even Moana. People are like, oh, there's a villain in Moana. Is it, though? Is that island really a villain? A volcano really a villain? And the same with Encanto. Is the grandma the villain? Is it? Same with here. I'm serious. Most Disney movies, even for the past, Pinocchio, even when you go to Sleeping Beauty, Snow White, even if you go 10 years back, Toy Story, there's villains, the little kid, then the pole and the bear, and then other toys are the villains. Here, there's no villain. So it feels like there's no stakes. There's no dilemma in this movie. You're just like, what are we going with? And then I know for a fact people are going to talk about representation. Yes, there's a lot of representation in this movie. You have whites, you have mixed race couples, you have gay kids, you have Native American, you have disabled. Even the dog is a three-legged disabled dog. So you're almost like, I hate to say it, like, when it comes to all this thing, it's just like, I understand they're trying, oh, in the whole ending, it's like, it's a melting pot, but I'm like, I'm just trying to think. I go into the city, I've been to LA, I've been to Miami, I've been to Chicago, been in New York City, been to Dallas, been to Omaha, Nebraska, I've been to Vegas, been to Reno, been to Lisbon, Portugal, been to the Azores, been to, I don't know, Denmark, been to Estonia, been to, St. Petersburg, Russia. It's like, that doesn't really match the real world. So I understand saying, oh, representation, but let's be honest. You go to Atlanta, you go to Chicago, you go to Dallas, you go to Nashville, you go to, St. Louis, you go to Lawrence, Kansas, you go to like Salt Lake City. It's not, nothing looks like that. I'm sorry. I understand what they're going for, but overall, they pushed it a little bit too far where you're like, okay now. But overall, Strange World, it's a fine movie, great animation and great 3D, but that's what you expect from a Disney movie and Disney animation and their hardware and software capabilities and their artists and their animators. You expect that. But my gosh, this story script is, I'm sorry, how does this hit theaters, but Turning Red doesn't? And then conspiracy theory. This is a sequel or a dream sequence to The Day After Tomorrow. This must mean in Day After Tomorrow, Dennis Quaid, Jake Gyllenhaal, father-son in that movie, father-son in Strange World. So I'm guessing they died in The Day After Tomorrow, and this is their dream world, or this is the heaven they live in now. That is my conspiracy theory of the movie. But overall, it's an okay movie. Kids will be entertained, but the more you think about it, the more you're like, huh? So Strange World 3D will receive a 3 out of 5 with Futon. So he goes at 60%. So do the critics' news scores gave this one. So you have critics a 75% with 56 of them. Audience score 67% with fewer than 50. Here's critic consensus. Strange World is a Disney milestone in terms of representation. But as a storytelling experience, this dazzling animated adventure offers little the audiences haven't already seen. Like, doesn't really matter if it's a milestone representation. Let's just be bluntly honest. Like, why can't you just make a movie and, like, not put it on the foreground of, like, oh, this is what we're doing? It's like, why? Just make a good movie. And unfortunately, when you have, I want representation, but you have nothing underneath that banner, you don't have anything. So we have the 67, 75, 60. Chase up with the Blue Futon. Like, comment, subscribe. Another thing is Booftopia. Your Booftonians, thank you for watching. Have a fantastic day. Peace and love to every single one of you. And yeah, I still have Devotion to watch this weekend. Bones and All, The Menu, and The Fablemans. It's going to be a busy Thanksgiving weekend.